Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So I did want to do some comparisons of these Robert Oster inks that I recently swatched for you. And it's daytime now and the sun is up, but we're getting ready to have a storm. So every now and then this incredibly bright light will come through the windows and just illuminate everything, and it looks amazing. And then the clouds will move and it gets very dark. So I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna work with what we have. So I'm just gonna go down the line here. We're gonna start with Mr. Tranquility. So we will put him front and center. And I have gone through my, gazillion swatch cards, some of which I just dumped on the floor, trying to pick out some matches for these. And I didn't pick out every single card that I had that would kind of, you know, match. Otherwise we'd be here all day. So let me zoom in a little bit, make sure we can see. Alrighty, so first up we have Kwz Blue Lagoon, and that one is a pretty good match. It's a bit lighter green and it has a bit less sheen, but I think that one's a pretty good match. Okay, we're done with that one. No, I'm just kidding. We can't only compare one card. Alright, here is Diamine Bloody Absinthe. Much more sheen. You can see all that crazy sheen on there. And also a darker green and a greener green. This is, you know, these are more leaning towards the teal. And here is Diamine Aurora Borealis. Again, it's darker, but also more teal. So, close. This one's still lighter. And I don't know why I pulled this one out. This is the Pannonia. I've forgotten how to pronounce these guys, so please excuse me, but I think this is marywhodges. And it's definitely much bluer. Kind of a bluer teal, I guess. And here is Pannonia, Pannonia Godeniajold. And again, that one is much greener. And here is Colorverse Spirit. Again, he is much greener. And I'll move these guys out of the way. I thought this Atrumentous Mint Turquoise, I thought the writing was a pretty good match. But of course the swatch, for some reason it came out really pale. So you can decide for yourself if you think that writing is close, but it looks kind of close to me. I'm not sure what happened with the swatch, why it came out so pale. And here is Rohr and Klingner of Smaragdgrün. My pronunciation's a little off today. And finally we have Robert Oster Turquoise. So that one's pretty close. And I also think this Kwz is pretty close. So that gives you an idea of what this one looks like. And also, if you have one of these, then you probably don't need to get that one too. Which is one thing I have learned from the website Mountain of Ink. I love that website so much because I see a different ink every day that I want to buy, and I go to that website and it shows me all the similar inks that look like it, so that tells me that I don't need to buy it. I want to buy all of these inks, but at least it helps me a little bit from not buying so many. Okay, there is a little bit of overlap between the swatch cards I have for Soda Pop Blue and also Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a little bit darker, and I debated about just doing these guys together, but I think I'm just going to do them separately so we don't get confused about our colors. So some of these cards I might be using again when we come to Tampa Bay. So here we have Diamine Skull and Roses. Now the sheen on this is making it look like a more purpley color. but it is a darker blue. Robert Oster's Soda Pop Blue is kind of more turquoisey. And here is Jacques Bond Bleu de Minuit. Again, he's darker and a bluer blue. The Soda Pop Blue is definitely more turquoise. My goodness, these are just way off. Why did I pull these guys out? Here is Diamine A Night in Jodhpur. Again, a darker blue, but all that red sheen is just making it look crazy. Then we have Ocean Noir, one of my favorites. Again, a bluer blue and a different color sheen to it. And here we have Ferris Wheel Press Jelly Bean Blue. Gosh, do I have any like turquoisey blues in here? I know I pulled out some, my goodness. Yeah, these are all like blue blues. There's Saltire. Here's Colorverse Depth. Maybe I was going through my swatch cards and I hadn't gotten to the turquoisey blues yet. I don't know. There is Noodler's Baltimore Canyon Blue. Man, these just all look terrible. Of course, here's my favorite, Horizon Blue, which is looking very blue compared to Soda Pop Blue. My goodness. Well, I'm really disappointed with my choices. Okay, I'm looking through my swatch cards again here. Let's see what else we've got. Because those are all just terrible matches. Just terrible. Here is... oh, let me move these guys out of the way. There is Califolio Blue Ultramarine. Here is Robert Oster Fire and Ice. Now those are definitely lighter. Here is Robert Oster Bondi Blue, which again is lighter, but still in that turquoisey family. Here is Califolio Bleu Pacifique. Again, lighter. Okay, these are all way too light. Here is Robert Oster Blue Water Ice. I think these guys are all very close to each other. This is probably the lightest, and that's the medium, and I would say this is the darkest. So they're definitely related to each other. I think those are about the best ones I have. So I always wanted Bondi Blue. I just thought it was so beautiful when I saw swatches of it online, but I'm glad I got a sample of it because it is just way too light and way too turquoisey for me. But I did end up getting a bottle. I think I got a bottle of Blue Water Ice, I'm pretty sure. And in a pen, it is just gorgeous. So I have really high hopes for Soda Pop Blue. That one should be a lot of fun to write with. Okay, who do we have next? We have Robert Oster Great Southern Ocean. I love this ink so much. And I feel like I have several that are pretty close. Here is Colorverse Extra Dimension. They are very close. They are very, very close. Let's look at the writing. They both have some shading. They're both kind of dark. I want to say they're like blue grays. I guess these are considered blue blacks, but to me there's dark blue and then there's the blue that have kind of a gray tint to them. And the ones with the gray tint are usually considered blue blacks. So I guess these are blue blacks, and they both have that red sheen. So wow, these are really, really close to each other. All right, here is Birmingham Pen Voltaic Arc. And this one definitely has more sheen than the other two. But again, very close in color. Here is Boiler Steam. That's definitely another blue-black, but it's coming across lighter in the swatch, but the writing is still pretty dark. Ooh, and some of these guys are smearing terribly. Here is Tesla Coil. He's definitely looking bluer and not so much blue-black. And there is Diamine Iridescence Christine. Now this is actually looking kind of green compared to Great Southern Ocean. And there is Sailor Shikiori Shimoyo. And this is definitely cooler looking. It's much grayer. This one is definitely blue in comparison. And who else do we have? Let me shrink our stack down a little bit. There is Diamine Twilight, looking much grayer. And there is Atrumentous Sherlock Holmes, looking much bluer. And here is Noodler's Squeeteague, which is looking much greener. And finally we have Colorverse Monsoon Storm. I love this ink. It's such a unique color. It's definitely a dark teal with some reddish sheen, but I just don't have any other colors like it. Squeeteague is close to it, but it's definitely a very unique color. So I think I would go back to Extra Dimension. That one is very close. And Shimoyo, but yeah, Extra Dimension, very close on that one. And then who else do we have? We have Gracies. And I don't feel like I had a really good match for this one. Ironically enough, there is my swatch of the sample that I had of this, and it is much, much paler. I mean, I did them the same way with my glass nib and with a Q-tip, but the writing looks lighter and the ink was coming out much paler, and I didn't get a drip, which would lead me to believe it's drier, but they are just completely different looking inks. It's so interesting. Yeah, you can see my thumb here. Those sheening inks just smear terribly. Okay, so we're going to take him out of the way because he's distracting us from our goal here. This is Atrumentous Hyacinth. A bit bluer, not quite as gray. And there is Sailor Ink Studio 442. He's pretty close. Pretty close. And there is Ink Studio. Ooh, goodness. There's some thunder. I'm sure Gus is going to be freaking out any moment. Sailor Ink Studio 941, looking much more teal. And here is Pannonia Sanctuary Keck, which is close. I would say Gracies is still a little bluer. And Colorverse Warped Passages, that's definitely bluer than Gracies. All right, we're going to move these guys aside. We have Colorverse Saturn 5. I have a lot of Colorverse inks. And there is Colorverse KSLV2. He's much darker and definitely sheen. This one does not have any sheen, but most of the other inks do have sheen. This one does not, and neither did the Ink Studio. So that's interesting. There's Colorverse Stars and Stripes, and he's bluer with sheen. Let's see, Sitz Cruise Knock Pacific Blue, definitely a softer, more pastel kind of blue. And there is Pilot Namiki Blue. Now this one does have a teeny bit of sheen. The writing is coming out much paler though, but it's definitely bluer. This is a more gray tone. And then we have Twisby Sapphire Blue with a little hint of sheen on it, but kind of close. And there's Pelican Royal Blue. I would say definitely bluer and with more sheen. So if I had to pick matches on this one, the closest matches I would say would be the Sanctuary Keck and the Ink Studio 442. But still, the shading on this one is just so beautiful. Okay. And finally, we have the Endless Pens exclusive Robert Oster Tampa Bay. And this, unfortunately, this is kind of the color I was picking out for the Soda Pop Blue. Kind of that brighter, deeper blue with lots of red sheen. And I have tons of inks like that. So there we have Colorverse Depth. That's looking a bit more purple. And I am... oh no! Okay, I pulled out the wrong ink stack. That's why they looked wrong. This was the stack I pulled out for Soda Pop Blue. Okay, let's do Soda Pop Blue again, because that was just all wrong. Where did he go? So here he is. And here's my original swatch of my sample. Again, the swatch came out very differently. I mean, it just spreads so much more here. And the writing looks much darker on the, this is the new swatch. So that's interesting. Okay, Diamine Blue Velvet. So we do have some duplicates. Here's Jelly Bean Blue. Here is Supernova. Supernova, I would say, is close. I love this color so much. And here is Diamine Iridescence Maureen. And Organic Studio Nitrogen. He's kind of close, but again, much more sheen. And there is Monteverde Capri Blue. This one's bluer. This one has a touch more green to it. And here's the new Private Reserve American Blue. Definitely much bluer. Robert Oster True Blue. This ink always drives me crazy because it does not look like a true blue to me. It definitely has a touch of green to it. It's more turquoise than a true blue, but perhaps I'm just being picky. And this is Jacquerbon Bleu Austral, which I think might actually be a better match for, I don't know, maybe Gracies? Where did Mr. Gracies go? I mean Great Southern Ocean. Nope. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Nope, not a match at all. Okay, I feel better now because I knew that none of those cards were matching. So now let's get back to Mr. Tampa Bay, which matches all the other cards that I had. So where were we? Colorverse Depth, Bleu de Minuit, and my favorite, Horizon Blue. He's looking kind of bluer and more purple. This one is kind of cooler. And there is Baltimore Canyon Blue, and ooh, the rain is starting. We will be looking at inks to the sound of rain. It'll be lovely. And there is Saltire, much more sheen on Saltire. And here is Ocean Noir, kind of close. And there is A Night in Jodhpur and Skull and Roses. Those are both sheen monsters. And here is Blue Velvet, definitely looking like a bluer blue. See, I have so many duplicate cards, it's not even funny. I have got to organize my samples because here's Ocean Noir again. Very pretty, but not a very good match. And there is Malibu Blue, looking much more purple. Here is the Monteverde Documental Ink, again looking kind of purple. Here is Private Reserve Cosmic Cobalt and Private Reserve DC Super Show Blue. There is KWZ Azure number 5. He's kind of close. They're both a little in that tealy kind of range. There's Diamine Sapphire looking very purple. Kind of, well, more purple than that though. And Majestic Blue. This is not the best swatch card for Majestic Blue. Yeah, I think some of my swatch cards, I need to redo them. And again, I have another duplicate. I can't help myself. Okay, So who did we think was a good match for Tampa Bay? I don't know. I was kind of liking Baltimore Canyon Blue, but no, not really. And who else did we have here? I mean, they're close, but they're not quite there. No. I don't know. The Bleu de Minuit, a little bit. Whoops. Well, it's just raining cards over here. And there is the Ocean Noir. So even though I have so many similar blue inks, this one still does seem kind of unique, which is nice, because I can never have too many blue inks. Alrighty, well, that was all I wanted to share with you today. Just a quick little comparison video. And I think I might have stopped recording. I don't know what happened here. Hopefully we're still recording. Okay, well, I'm just going to move forward in the hopes that I am still recording. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.